Hey everybody, so this weekend I went to see a preview of The Wild Robot, which is based on the book by Peter Brown, 2016 novel of the same name. And it's a DreamWorks animation along with Universal Pictures kind of production. So as you would expect, very high standard. It wasn't really one that was necessarily on my radar, but it was a choice of either staying at home with a whole group of 16-year-old boys watching the England game or going to the cinema with my daughter. So I chose to go to the cinema with my daughter. So let's review this. The Wild Robot follows the story of a robot called Roz, who is shipwrecked. And they're shipwrecked on an island that is just full of animals. And of course, Roz is programmed to serve people and isn't able to do that on this island because can't communicate. And so it's all about finding a way of how to learn new ways of doing things, how to communicate with people, coming through an adversity, being the odd one out and learning how to fit in, getting people to like you, people to accept you. And that's very much the case for actually, I would say pretty much all the characters that are in this particular film. They all are trying to fit in some way or another. And so from that point of view, it's actually a really lovely film. It's kind of questioning, well, what makes us family? What makes us a group that's the same? And for them, it's kind of keeping each other alive and, like I said, overcoming adversity. So it was a very nice but simple message that was behind it. The rating of the film is a U. Which I think is, yeah, exactly as it probably should be. There are a few moments that that the adults probably laughed at slightly more than the children, and it might have been some things that had gone over the children's head, but there were moments where people were things maybe weren't turning out the way they wanted to. For example, and this is a spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know this, then turn off. But for example, a bird that's learning to fly, that as soon as it goes up into the air and they're all celebrating, an eagle comes along and eats it. Now, of course, I found that very funny. Some younger kids might not have done, but I think, to be fair, I think it probably just went over their head because it was just so lovely to look at. But there are lots of moments of comedy throughout it, and so I think it appeals very much to both children and to adults alike, really. The soundtrack for this film is lovely. It's a really, really nice soundtrack. I found myself feeling quite calmed by it, but uplifted at exactly the same time. So yeah, soundtrack great. The animation fantastic as normal, and some really cool sort of imagery that was put in it. But also I think not quite like some of the other kind of Pixar films and things like that you would have. It had a feeling of a storybook to it too, which is kind of nice because that's then in keeping with the original book. So I did like that about it as well, that it felt a little bit different. So yeah, I would say, it is very similar along the lines of Big Hero 6, the idea of a sacrifice being made at the end for the greater good. So yeah, it did feel very familiar, but as a film to go and watch, as a feel good movie, it was very easy watching. So I guess the big question is, would I go and see it again? Do you know what? I think I probably would. I don't know if I'd go to the cinema to see it again, but I'd be more than happy when it sort of comes out on Sky Cinema or anything like that. I'd be more than happy to go and see this one again. And it's definitely one that I would watch with my family again. And particularly on those days when you just want a bit of a feel-good message and to pick you up, then I think The Wild Robot is one to go and see. If I was going to look on the Spires stars scale, I would probably give it 3.5 stars, only because, like I said, I don't know that it felt a completely original story to me. It felt like things that I've seen before, but then that's maybe not a bad thing. Let's face it, there's lots of stuff that's been rehashed over the past however many years, and different things appeal to different people. But I would happily watch this again when it comes out at home. I probably wouldn't go back to the cinema to see it, but yeah, good film. and worth going to see with your family, particularly if you've got a young family. Lovely message, feel good movie. If you like this review, then obviously I have got other reviews, so please do pop over to my page and like and subscribe, and then watch those reviews as they come up. Have a great day. Bye.